Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PCT podcast number 25. Big numbers for big boys. Today I am joined by Matt.
What's up?
I'm also joined by, I'm going to do Jake last. I'm joined by Trey.
I'm surprised you didn't forget about the number this time.
I'm surprised too. This is the first take. Well, this is live, so I can't forget. And I guess I'm joined by Jake. Jake's here.
Big boy resident,
Yes, sir.
Jake speaking.
So yeah, we're gonna have a pretty stacked episode. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly say, happy 4th of July. Please stay safe. Please put your health and the health of others before.
Don't go to Mount Rushmore and get sick.
Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it, man. So if you're watching this either today on the 3rd or tomorrow or whenever, just continue to be safe. Practice social distancing. Keep wearing a mask. This isn't a liberal podcast, but it's just, we're smart people. So
Actually, that might be something. While we're still on the topic of that,
we're not political or anything, but
if
you're stupid if you don't wear this.
Matt, shut up. If you live in Texas, by the way, our governor Abbott, for anyone who hasn't heard, has put out a fine that if you don't wear a mask in public, it is a $250 fine.
Mm-hmm.
First time is a warning. Second time is a fine.
Did you get the message on your phone?
Mask.
Did you get the message on your phone today?
I didn't get a message. No, I saw people posting about it, but I never actually got a message.
Yeah, I got a message when I was out earlier today. So yeah.
Were you wearing a mask?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I was in the car, so I wasn't wearing a mask, but I did wear a mask to
Should have been wearing a mask anyway.
Yeah, they knew, bro. They knew.
There's a sniper on you.
But yeah. So
I'll turn this.
how have you guys been this week? What's been popping? What's been going on?
I've become a Minecraft god again.
You and I both. You and I both.
Yes, you and I both. I am close to getting the game platinum. I want to get this game 100%ed, but I will stay with the platinum for right now.
It's a real achievement.
Only a few more trophies. So, I mean, I've been good. This is how I'm coping with my Battlefront 2 withdrawal. So.
What about you, Matt? What have you been up to, man?
Not a lot, man. It's been just kind of like
What about you,
relaxing
Trey?
and taking it easy. All right. All right. Well, yep.
What about you? Cool, Trey.
I've been good.
Cool.
Broke my toe, but all right.
Well, you broke your toe?
No, I broke my
No.
toe. I sprained my ankle though. That was fun.
What, today?
Yeah.
Man, what a shame.
Doing what?
Uh,
I was going up the ladder and I freaking missed a step.
Oh my god, dude.
Wow.
That hurts.
Wait,
Wait, did it
how's that?
bend inwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's not
Sucks.
broken. it sucks about maybe just showing, but it's not.
Yeah.
Probably broken.
You're a cripple now.
I'm crippling depression.
I was waiting for you. Jalen was waiting for you to make a joke.
I was thinking about it, to be honest, but then I decided not
I'm a good
to.
person. Anyway, speaking of good people, Sony and Microsoft, as we know, they're releasing their new consoles this year. Hopefully, I mean that's what they're saying. Will they come out? I don't know. Highly doubt it. But NBA 2K21, they showed off their box art the other day. They showed off their Mamba Forever edition. I gotta say, I don't really like sports games, but I will most likely be copying this PS5 edition of the game simply because I have I've loved basketball ever since I was young, and it's just what happened earlier this year with Kobe was really sad.
Well, it's a piece of history, you know?
Yeah,
If you have that,
it really
you're
is.
like, hey, look at this.
It really is, and I love the box art. But the one thing that caught people off guard was the simple fact that the PS4 and Xbox One version of the game were what we come to expect, $59.99, $60 MSRP. For the standard edition, and the standard edition of the same exact game, NBA 2K21 on PS5 and Xbox Series X, was $10 more. It was $69.99 MSRP, and people are kind of flipping. People are going a little crazy, thinking that AAA developers are going to start upping the prices of video games for the next generation because of technology and improvements and advancements and stuff like that. So obviously, if something takes more work to manufacture, it's going to cost more to use. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Because I haven't seen I have not seen a game over $60 at launch this over 2005.
I mean, I think it's pretty much inevitable that
Mhm.
it eventually will happen. I don't know if it's going to happen this console generation. I mean, from the leaks, it seems pretty plausible. But I feel like it's more like a we'll have to wait and see scenario in the end, because it could also very well just depend on developers. I mean, it could just be like, hey, like for instance, most likely new Call of Duty will release this year, and maybe for them they'll be like, okay, well, you know, or here's actually a better version I was about to say. Maybe they can have different prices for different types of games. Maybe like a multiplayer game can be still 60 or 50, and they can make up the profit from microtransactions like they've been doing, and maybe like single player games, like the next big PlayStation juggernaut, whatever that may be, will be 70. Something that's gonna be more like high end.
Well, that's the thing that's
kind of
already
stuff.
kind of like gearing people, kind of giving them the wrong impression. Is this $70? It is a confirmed price point, and NBA. These 2K games are built off microtransactions, so people are already
Oh yeah,
pretty mad that not only will they have to spend more money on this game, but they're also going to,
it's a literal basketball casino. Like, I
yeah.
mean, not even trying to sound like over exaggeration here. Like, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, I've played 2K16, 2K18 in recent memory. Not a lot. I play them every now and again. Those kind of games I pick up on board. But like, no, even those are ridiculous. But I heard this year, especially with 20, there's a lot of controversy in the release about the types of stuff. Like, there was even like a slot machine commercial for it. It was ridiculous.
So I mean, go for it.
When it comes down to the price of games, it kind of makes sense since you buy, like, if they put a lot of work into it, it makes sense. It's kind of like, getting something changed in the car and you paying for mostly how much time it takes.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm afraid of is for like higher budget people or like indie developers that make a game that's absolute shit but expect you to pay like $25 higher than like any other small indie game.
Well, I think we're only going to see this, higher price point in AAA developers. I highly doubt indie devs are going to be like less up the price because our competitors are up in the price.
I use that as a reference, but like I was also meaning just like I'm trying to think of a company that does that a lot. Deep Silver.
Yeah, they do sell their games at a premium.
Yeah.
For me, I think what I've been hearing a lot of too is it really all depends on. Well, I was kind of getting at earlier. Is it all depends on content. And the two examples I see the most when it comes down to it, people say they would not like spending more money on is for games like made by either Rockstar or Naughty Dog. For those are the two primary examples, like Red Dead, GTA, or like Last of Us Part 2, because it takes so long for the game to come out. Like it's like a good 6 years between different installments, depending on obviously it depends on the production and what studios are working on what. People say they don't have an issue spending more money on a game that they know is gonna be very high end, because Red Dead and Last of Us Part 2 are probably the most detailed, I'd say, PS4 games when it comes to gameplay. Whether that be your opinion on the game, that's just completely out of the question. That has nothing to do with the topic. But gameplay-wise and content-wise, they are very high tier. Like, they're almost next gen when it comes to how they act and they play.
Yeah.
So people said they don't mind. I've heard people say they wouldn't mind spending $70 for a game like that. But it all depends to me, especially on the content. I'm not gonna buy Call of Duty again. Like, here's an example for $70 for a standard edition, not even like a enhanced edition, not enhanced, but like a steelbook edition, and then be expected to buy either maps if they go back to that, or buy microtransactions. Because to me, you have to be realistic. The reason why Fortnite works so well is it's free, and the microtransactions are expensive. That's how they make the profit. But you can't have something like Call of Duty launch at $70 and expect money in return. It's just not not reasonable.
Yeah, and
do you think that it's not just this next gen thing, but companies that are like this that have been kind of suffering from the virus that shall not be named because we don't want to get striked. Do you think that they're trying to higher the price because they haven't been making a lot of money?
Okay, so here's
or
my
they
only.
Don't believe that, or they don't believe that they will be making a lot of money.
Here's my only issue with that: microtransactions. And this is when I was doing research for this specific topic, I came across this article that said the PS5 might be cheaper than we expect because not only did the PS4 sell extremely well, but all of those services that Sony offered, PlayStation Plus, you've had to pay for this console generation. Like, Sony made enough money that might give us reason to believe that the PlayStation 5 will be cheaper. With that being said, these companies, 2K, Activision, EA, you know, all these companies make billions of dollars worth of microtransactions a year. I highly doubt, you know, it's let's price this higher because we don't have enough, or you know, we don't expect it to sell as much. I really do believe it's let's price it higher because these games are harder to make. If they were that worried about how much money they were making, I just don't see that being the issue right now. Because like I said, these companies make money left and right nowadays.
Yeah, and one thing I want to see that comes out of this is maybe with a higher price for games could also come with, for companies, they need to think about everyone, kind of like not the whole entire don't buy if you don't like it kind of attitude.
Yeah, Battlefield 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, because that crippled them badly when that game came out.
But yeah, I mean, this whole entire idea of, you know, games being priced higher than $60 really doesn't faze me all that much. Firstly, because it's just a $10 increase. I'm sorry, but if you can buy a $60 game, you can buy a $70 game.
Yeah,
and I can see that being true, but if it sets up, you know, kind of a precedent, you know, then you're looking at, you know, if you want to. It's one thing of saying, like, I'll get 2 games for $120, but now you're looking at I'll get 2 games for $140 or things like that, you know. It will slowly, you know, like anything else, it will slowly just becoming, you know, it'll slowly just become, you know, a rampant price. Which again, you know, if it's worth, if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it. That's the whole thing, and that's really what companies are hoping on is, like, you know, $10 isn't gonna phase you all too much, but
like
it will change depending on, you know, it will change someone's opinion. It's, you know, $10 can be, you know, a big factor in someone's decision.
Yeah.
In buying something. I know if it's like that thing on, like, you always see like something could be like, you know, $10 plus free shipping, but if it's like $1.99 or and $9 shipping, then nobody wants to buy it. It's kind of like that, where it's the same price, but really it's just it goes to, you know, you just see, it's that kind of like you just see it and you're like, never mind.
Yeah.
And one thing I just thought of also, wouldn't that also mean for like collector's editions and special editions will also go up?
That's what that's what I was thinking as well. Makes sense.
Even though like Cyberpunk doesn't really have one, I would have bought it if they did have.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah.
But
like, also collectors, collector's editions will also ramp up in price.
Yeah, that would spike up, especially what would come with it, like when Death Stranding came out, you got the whole entire BB lamp that came with it.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, like I said, it's going to really depend, honestly, on how monetized the game's going to be. I really do.
And that's the only thing scaring me so much as of right now is because NBA is guaranteed to be a highly monetized game, and it was the first game confirmed to be $70. So I mean,
well, I'm hoping they'll learn. Maybe people will like not buy the game because they're like, okay, well, I'm not spending $70 for a game, and then have to spend, like, you know, not necessarily have to, because people don't have to buy microtransactions by any means. I mean, that's just, you know. But even like myself, like I'll be here like, oh god, I hate microtransactions. But like a game like Call of Duty, I enjoy it. Like they dropped Gaz, you know, for $20. I'm like, you know what? I like Gaz as a character. I play the game. You know what? I'll buy him.
Yeah, you know, Captain America in Fortnite.
Yeah, Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America in Fortnite. What happened there? What happened there, man?
It's America, bro. It's America.
And also something else I just realized also, maybe that's why a lot of games that are coming out now for the PS4 that's going to be upgraded to PS5 are free.
Yeah.
Like GTA, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, because even last generation they did a $10 upgrade, and that's no longer a thing.
That's the thing with NBA though.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're doing it for free. That should
be apparently with NBA apparently what it is you buy the current gen version for PS4, you won't get a free upgrade to next gen. You have to buy the
Mamba edition.
You have to buy the Mamba edition for a $10 upgrade. And to me, that's already screaming like money.
No. If you buy the Mamba edition, it's a free upgrade. If you buy the standard edition, it's a $10 upgrade.
Oh, okay.
That's still kind of a weird concept.
Yeah.
Every other game at the moment is doing it for free.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very anti-consumer thing to do, especially.
Yeah, it's 2K.
We already know games. Well, yeah, no, but we already know games like Modern Warfare will be cross-gen. I mean, that's just a given. And then, like, you know, whatever comes out this fall, whether it be a new Battlefield, that I don't think it'll come out this fall, but if it does, like
I can.
I think you'll see games like that be like free to play, like Apex. Some of those are already free to play, so that doesn't matter. But
I can see though 2K being a game where they would ramp up price. Not because like there's a small fan base, but it's a pretty select group of people
Yeah,
who
it's
are
a
playing this
very-
game.
well,
It's,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
not-
I have the same
it's someone
thing
who
every
plays
year.
video games and someone who plays specifically sport games or basketball games. It's a pretty narrow margin. Really.
Are you saying that our sports games are going to be a little bit higher in price, but are games like Call of Duties like they won't be that higher in price because way more people play them compared to something like NBA?
well, all I know
from a statistical kind of like not statistical, but like a kind of looking at it like a monetary thing. That's exactly what I would think. Like people who are trying to crunch numbers really would do, especially if you're playing a game like 2K or FIFA or something like that, where your fan base is, a smaller group of people because you have to hit these certain, you have to hit these certain pinpoints for these people to start playing it.
That's why FIFA for EA, it's like everybody sits here and says, "Oh no, Battlefield and Battlefront are EA's golden gooses." No, they're not. FIFA's the golden goose for EA because, dude, people who buy those packs for players is ridiculous. The money that goes into that stuff, it's like almost like GTA Online. They get so much cash because, like Jake says, there's a hardcore fan base of people who play that one specific game or maybe multiple. And like there's a player they want one of the legendary card packs / loot boxes. They'll drop money for it. I mean, they make a killing for those games, and that's what they end up doing. So they make a majority of the profit off those people. So, I mean, I kind of agree with Jake. Wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if they up the price because people would be buying it. It's just
All in all, I don't think that this is going to be a new thing for every game. I can see this being a certain thing. Because really you have to think it's not all video game developers are all talking to each other. They're not saying, oh, let's all raise the prices. They're all competing with each other. Someone's going to raise prices, someone's going to lower prices. That means someone else is going to have to lower prices because prices are too high. That's just basic economy where you have to. Someone's gonna higher prices because of certain work that went into it, or they have to because their group of people that are their consumers are a smaller number, but they're people that they know are gonna get it anyway. So they, if you're the only person making sports games, for basketball or whatever, then you can raise the price because there's not many competitors for a AAA basketball game.
Yeah, the NBA Live series tanked underneath after 2K. 2K wrecked it.
I just thought of something. What about I find it kind of weird out of all the games that's coming out this year that's still left to come out this year and everything. Cyberpunk's the only ones that actually came out and said that they're not making a special edition or anything. Maybe it's because they kind of saw this coming, and it is all at once to be $70.
Well, what I feel like really is going to impact people's decision on buying a $70 game, especially, is the console price. And then the console price is going to be a massive player for this.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man.
For perspective, let's put it this way, right? So Christmas morning, right? Let's say, for example, little Timmy wants a PS5, And, it's been a hard year. Everybody knows this because of what's going on in the world and stuff when it comes to the economy. It's worse than it's ever been.
Yeah, little Timmy's freaking out.
And stuff. Yeah, little Timmy's upset, bro. Santa, he wants a new PlayStation from Santa. So he wants a PS5, right? So for a parent, I mean, that's already a hefty price. The PS5, I mean, sure, they could probably maybe trade in stuff for it, but let's say best case scenario, the PS5 is $500, which I think that's the lowest. I think that's lowballing it. Honestly, I think you may see it $600, but I think if that thing's $500, right, and he's like, okay, I want a PS5 and I want to get I want to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Probably an unrealistic pick for a kid, but who knows? And Assassin's Creed Valhalla is $70 on top of the $500. That's already almost another $100.
Yeah, man.
$100.
Kids aren't going to see. Man, I remember my Christmas. I wouldn't see a whole bunch of video games, but I'd at least see 3, 4, maybe 5 video games. Man, these kids are going to start seeing 1, 2 video games.
But if they want to get the console with a couple games, dude, parents can be looking to close to $700 probably bucks.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That's one thing I wanted to say, man. I really feel bad for all these kids born after 2005 because. For me at least, I remember new games coming out on PS2. PS2. Those games didn't launch at $60. So the first game to set the precedent of launching at $60 was Call of Duty 2, in 2005. Activision set that precedent, and I remember like going to the store for like a brand new release, and those games like the prices were all over the place.
It
But
was like $40, wasn't it? It was, like,
40.
pretty low.
There was some that were like $90 for like a brand new game. Some prices even went up to like $120 just for like a brand new game, like on PS1, just the
They were
CD.
trying to find their footing. They were just trying to find their footing of like, here's a game that it took a lot of money to make, but we don't know how much we can really charge people. We don't, because video games, really are still kind of like a.
It's like
like
it's
the
like it's
weird
like a
thing, but they're-
preteen phase right now. It's like a preteen
Well, yeah,
phase.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a new entertainment platform, but they're definitely growing. I mean, it's not like
Yeah, it's
not
a
the
it's a
early days
growing
that it
it's a
used to be.
growing entertainment kind of system, but it's still kind of relatively new.
Mhm.
It's
definitely.
people are still trying to get a whole like a handle of like, here's a thing that we're putting on a disc that people are gonna play. How much can we charge them? Because
Well,
really,
yeah, dude, and it's still like we're just barely scratching the surface when it comes to games.
Yeah.
It's gonna get more and more advanced and crazy. So like, I mean, a price jump for games isn't. I kind of saw this coming, but I don't know about PS5. Like we've been saying, I think it really all depends on a lot of variables.
Yeah, there's so many
price,
variables, and there's
content.
one. Inflation is one we haven't talked about yet. There's so many things that
Tax.
there's
Oh.
so many things that we haven't put into consideration, like inflation, for example. The PS3 launched at $600. Nowadays, this was back in 06. Nowadays, if that same exact console were to launch at the same exact price point, it would be $800. So, I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that need to be put into consideration here. And
Well, mhm.
overall, $70 nowadays is a bit more affordable than $70 a decade ago.
yeah.
Well, another thing game developers can do, or not, this is probably a very long shot, but like, I mean, if gaming gets to the point where it's massive, which I mean, it already is massive, but I'm talking about like to the point where it's just, it's everybody knows about it, like to the point where everybody's playing games, kind of like sports. What I could see honestly happening, but I feel like it's either far away from this happening or it's gonna be a long shot. Is I think you'll see consoles be extremely cheap, maybe like $200 for everybody to have it. We're gonna see games be really expensive, and you're gonna see a lot of microtransactions to make up for it. Like I think you'll see like PS6 $200, Call of Duty 25, whatever the heck is gonna be like $70 to $80, and then on top of that $20 for a gun cam. I mean,
Here's what I see,
just to
man.
make it more accessible.
Here's what I see. I see all of this is setting up nothing but a streaming future. Streaming is legit going to be the future of gaming. And, with all these services coming out, EA Access and Xbox Game Pass, where it's a paid subscription service that you pay for and you have X amount of games given to you for X amount of dollars. This is, games being priced this high is going to give consumers a reason to buy into this, these subscription services because, that subscription service might be cheaper overall. Let's say I want to buy an Activision subscription service where I get all the Activision games every single year, and it's like, let's just say $60 a year. The only issue with something like that is Activision will make a subscription service, and then we'll see EA make a subscription service.
Yeah.
And then we'll see, but I'm telling you, this is exactly what, games being priced higher is setting up, man.
I don't think streaming will be a major player, or at least not in this. I mean, obviously, it'll be bigger than it was now, but I don't think we'll see it become mainstream. Maybe at least till the PS6, because I mean, there's a lot of Wi-Fi. Like,
Yeah.
how good's your Wi-Fi?
There's a
Not
lot of
only that, but I mean, not everyone. I don't see that really taking hold because
not everybody wants streaming. Not everybody wants
not
that. Everybody's
not
wanna
just
get
that,
it.
not just that, but it's like, how many EA games do you have? Maybe 2. How many Activision games do you have? Maybe
Mhm.
6. You're buying from multiple different people. So if you're trying to do that, you're
Yeah.
like, say you really like EA, or like, so for me it's like they released Battlefront 3. I really don't like anything else EA does. I'm not a huge EA person.
Mm-hmm.
So they do Battlefront 3 or whatever, and I'm like, cool. So now I have to buy what we'll say,
This is what EA Play for-
$15 a month maybe, or like you said, 60 a year or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like just for a game
on top
that
of your PlayStation subscription, mind you.
oh yeah, on top of that. So I don't see streaming taking hold, at least for not anytime soon.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't think streaming become a thing is all because at that point, why not just get a PC at that point? Because consoles won't
this
survive.
thing
Well, I
PC
mean,
though,
isn't
streaming will be there
that
also.
kind of the goal though? Is like, eventually just making a console that can do anything a PC can.
Yeah,
You know,
but like I know,
like,
yeah, but
isn't
like
that the goal eventually?
by the time a console gets to that strength, a PC would be stronger than that anyway.
I mean, I guess I just don't see streaming being a.
Yeah,
I-
I don't-
the thing is-
even on PC, you don't really stream much stuff. I mean, you can get Steam or whatever, but
The thing
well,
is,
usually
no,
you'll
the
have
thing-
to buy it through
when
a.
it comes-
the th-
well, that's the thing I'm getting at because the Microsoft, what's it called? The subscription service for that also goes for PC. Also does
Mhm.
same with EA
Xbox
Access,
Game Pass,
goes for
whatever.
PC. Yeah.
The
all
thing
that goes
is-
for PC anyway.
This is the only reason why I feel like streaming. You know, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. And you know, I 100% do agree that
Oh,
this
we're
is
years away.
this
I
is
think.
this is something that's going to take a few more years to really get its footing in the ground here. But I mean, we can even look back 7 years from now, or 7 years ago whenever people just now started buying games digitally, and people were like, "Oh, I don't want to buy games digitally. I don't want to. You know, I like that physical copy and stuff like that." Dude, no,
That's me.
literally no one. The numbers of buying things physically, as far as games go, and movies. I mean, every single piece of media nowadays, in music, movies, games, it's the number of buying it physically is dwindling off. And I feel like we're going to see the same exact same thing with streaming, in the sense that people are going to be like, "Oh, no one wants to stream stuff, and the stream isn't, you know, it's not right now." But give it some time, dude. I feel like streaming is going to become the next downloading, and then whatever comes after streaming comes after streaming.
I feel like there's a lot of things with streaming though that aren't going to be very accessible to people because, like I said, I already mentioned Wi-Fi connection,
Yeah.
or just internet connection.
Yeah.
You need to be in a very good place for it to work. But on top of that, I mean, there's a lot of things like hackers, especially because the more things become digital, the more loopholes are to get around things, unless there's really good protection. If you lose your account, there go all your games.
Yeah.
Like, at least with physical copies, you can have the physical in front of you, like a collection, and you can still enjoy them, you know? Because, I mean, like, I know Trey had an issue with his account a while back, and he lost a
Yeah.
bunch of games. It's like, I mean, I get digital, I get it, I just personally don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I have to, which means lately I have to.
Yeah,
So.
I really have been. I've been making the transition to digital. Really, like I like physical copies of games, but really I guess I've just fallen into that thing. It's just like, why get a digital, or why get a physical? Man, like it's just easier, and it comes down to that convenience factor, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I understand it. I mean, completely.
Yeah, but yeah, all of this. I mean, it will start unfolding. I'd say within the next year or so. You know, we'll start seeing whether or not these video game prices going to stay at a steady 70, or if they're going to stay at 60, or even go lower. Everything's really up for grabs right now. Nothing is set in stone.
People are already upset when it comes to TV streaming, and people are already saying how much money they spend, like with HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus.
And I see the
on and
same
on and
exact
on.
thing happening to gaming. I really do. I legit see you buying a box just to buy a whole bunch of subscription services to play your games. I really do see that being the future, and it sucks.
I mean, yeah,
man.
PlayStation did their digital only.
Yeah, it sucks.
console.
It sucks, but not only is it convenient for the consumer, but it's convenient for the producer. It really is.
Yeah,
So
saves money on manufacturing.
You know
yep,
what we should do at this point?
Hmm.
Have a vote down the comments.
Join the
at this point
circus.
we
Oh.
should.
to see which one is kind of better.
I mean, I see value in both. Like for me, I'm a physical collector, but I mean, I understand, especially convenience-wise for digital. So to me, I mean, it doesn't really bother me because I'll switch over if I have to. It just kind of sucks seeing something I've loved since I was a kid. My GameCube was my first game console. To now having all this, it's just getting crazier and crazier because of how big gaming is becoming, which is cool in its own way. I mean, it's nothing not to knock about how popular this game, but I mean. I definitely think the PS5 and Series X will definitely be a major shift for gaming. I think you'll see a major shift towards a different future for the PS4 because I feel like the PS4 also was kind of like pushed out really fast on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I feel like
Because-
this generation of consoles was like PS3 and Xbox 360.5.
Yeah, it was very limbo state. I mean, yeah, we had the introduction to 4K and HDR, but even then it was more not even native, except for like the Xbox One X I think is native 4K. But I mean, even then, some games even running it. Like PS5, Series X will both have native 4K. probably trying to go for 60 FPS. Hopefully, I'm hoping to God because Valhalla's not going to be. That worries me a little bit. But
once again, both these consoles are capable of, I believe, 120 FPS. This, the frame rates and graphics fidelity all depend on the developers.
Yeah, I suppose, but I don't know. I really hope that this console generation we'll see a bigger change for games. Instead of this one wasn't bad. I mean, this was more graphics based than it was like actual hardware based. So we'll have to only wait and see, I guess, where it goes.
Yes, we will. But something we won't have to wait that long and see is the Fallout TV series. So yesterday, I believe this broke. Fallout TV series from Westworld creators is in the works at Amazon. Now we were talking about this briefly yesterday, and I am going to be the first to say I'm not huge into the Fallout franchise. I've only played New Vegas and a little bit of 3. Not my cup of tea. But I think I was the first to say that I can see this working. I can see this being a TV
Especially
show. And it
by
sounds
Amazon.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon seems like the perfect person. I don't know if you guys have watched. There's a show they did that's based off a book. It's called Tales from the Loop. Which is it's a whole weird alternate reality kind of show, but they do such a good job at kind of capturing that. Same thing with like The Boys and things like that, where it's just that weird factor, which Fallout is full of, is that weird factor. So I'm pretty excited to see this. I was thinking about it a little bit today, and I was thinking about what would be cool instead of like an actual just like one person. I would like to see different stories.
That'd be cool.
Like it's more
Tales
like
from the Wasteland kind of thing.
Yeah, just tales. Like here's a maybe here's a vault dweller that's living his life. They maybe do like an episode or episode 2, maybe 3 if they want to make like a long story arc kind of thing, and then they move on to like here's a raider and a raider's place, and here's a I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
I would love
if they did that.
Lore explore that we don't see in the games. I want to see like maybe I don't know, and more delve more into like the Brotherhood of Steel's history and stuff, and just kind of like fun stuff like that will add and enrich
that would
the
be
series
such a cool episode. It's like a Brotherhood of Steel episode. That'd be so cool.
For me, I just wanted not to be like the games where you just walk around for like a good 50 hours,
Hey, look,
become a leader for every faction, and just finish the game.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see them explore more of like. I don't want to see the weirder side because I mean Fallout. The thing is, I don't want people getting confused. Like I want it to be. I don't want it to be like too like serious, like Walking Dead and The Last of Us. I don't want it to be too goofy, like let's say for example Borderlands and stuff like that. I want it to be like in that like zany kind of like cartoony but kind of fun but realistic fashion. I want to see and explore, like I said, more like the stuff we don't know about either. I mean, they have to change up the setting. I mean, they can still do DC or Boston or whatever the heck they want to do. Just like I want to see new characters explored, new environments explored, maybe new types of creatures in the world. Tejas. Yes, sir.
Tejas.
Or Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not too big into the franchise. I don't know a whole lot about it. But I've looked at this from a technical standpoint and like just how I normally look at things, and I've seen a few episodes of Westworld. I haven't seen the whole series. I heard it kind of falls off after the first season, but I mean aesthetically, I love how that TV show looks, and they're bringing over the same producing studio and all the VFX guys that work on Westworld for the show. Todd Howard is an executive producer for the show, so I think. I think it's going to, stay true to his nature and stay a true Fallout story. I don't think we're going to stray too far away from, what Fallout is. But, I love the world of Fallout. I love the 1950s aesthetic, and then just this, what 1950s apocalypse will look like. And I feel like, with the, production design, like the studio over at Westworld, this can look amazing.
Yeah.
Well, what makes Fallout really original, and I like it a lot, is like it's an alternate reality. Like, what if instead of going with Thomas Edison, we went with Nikola Tesla, like his technology with talking about like radio, more like using radiation, not radiation. What the heck's the word? Nuclear. Jesus, there we go. Nuclear power. It's all about nuclear power and how the world is. I think it's a very cool, like you said, aesthetic with the whole '50s thing, and I just really want to see some just do something different and do something fun that fits in the universe, and like. I don't know. I mean, Todd Howard, it definitely makes me feel better that he's part of the show. Because I was about to bring that up. I'm like, The only thing with video game adaptations you get worried about is that somebody who handles it doesn't have a love for the source material, and that worries me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why for Last of Us I'm not too worried, because the guy that did Chernobyl loves the series. He loved part 1 and 2 and stuff. He's doing the show, so I'm not
And
too
Neil
worried about
Druckmann's
that.
working on it as well.
Yeah, that's the thing I think you're starting to see now. If we're gonna start having video game adaptations, is the developers working with them. You know, I think Assassin's Creed is a wake up call for that, because I mean Ubisoft like worked with them on it, but they weren't like consultants. I don't believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but. Yeah, I mean, I just really want the show just to embody the Fallout vibes and just like have like the bopping soundtrack of the '50s, you know, popping on the Pip-Boy and walking through the wasteland, and fun side
Now-
characters and just kind of cool stuff like that.
I hope the
I know
Pip-Boy
there's
doesn't
something
become a
that Jake
gimmick.
wants to see. Or it probably won't. But I know there's one thing Jake wants to see. It is the background for Meat Week.
Yeah. If they don't have a 5-part mini episode series of Me Week, I'm gonna be angry.
I'm gonna be angry if they do.
You know what? You know what would be really cool they could do, which I don't think they would do this, but if they really want to compete with Netflix and something really interesting with the Fallout show, what if, kind of like with how Netflix has Bandersnatch, they could do something similar to like you can decide fates of characters in Fallout, like the RPG. You could pick dialogue for the show, and it has different endings, like that Netflix.
Oh, like
is trying to do.
voting kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm not saying it's something I want to see completely, but I mean, it'd just be something interesting they could do for like a side project. I don't know, because it still embodied the life of the games.
I think I would want the game to follow a rad roach, similar to the movie Joe's Apartment. I would want it to be a lot like that. You guys ever seen Joe's Apartment?
Never heard of it.
Man, so it was this MTV original movie about these roaches that could sing in this dude's apartment, and I would want
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, almost exactly like that, except they're roaches. And I would want Fallout to follow
great.
a rad roach and his journey, and you know his birth, and him witnessing the explosion and his death.
That's stupid.
No, dude. You know
you're
what they should
dumb for
follow
saying
instead of
that.
that? What, Matt? What are those enemies called that hang out with the super mutants? Centaurs.
I see.
Nah, dude,
Oh,
centaurs.
yes.
I see this honestly. Now that I'm thinking more about it, I see it being a lot like Mad Max.
I
don't
do.
know
But I
about
want to be
that.
more. I want to be more alive than Mad Max. Something is Mad Max, but it's a very dead world. It's
I
just
feel like-
I want to see Fallout be more.
I feel
lively
like aesthetically it'll be more like Mad Max, but like you know, obviously I feel like this TV show will have more comedy and like less action. You know.
Yeah, I want the over the top like violence, like we're like like we're just like the fun combat and just like the comedy and just like great side characters. That's pretty much all I'm asking. Just one thing I think that people gotta focus on when making an adaptation for games is like embodying the vibes of the use different art, use different filters. I don't know, just something interesting with it. Instead of just trying to do the whole same stuff you always see with movies and TV shows, just something crazy and different.
If they do have
I have
it
another
set in
question.
one place and they don't jump around, like I think they will, where would you guys want this to be set? Because it's always set in like the United States.
Yeah.
You think
I
they'll set
still
it
want
in
to
like
be
a place?
I still want to be United States. I feel like Fallout.
Yeah.
I feel,
To ring like the world, because I mean I know you always hear this debated like, oh, we want Walking Dead in like Europe, or we want Last of Us set over in like Russia, but like I think Fallout's definitely a strict like it's much more it has that embodies that American tone from the 50s.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely set for that kind of time where it's like that. It's definitely for that American aspect. I meant more like, would you want it in a new place, or would you want it to be they go back to maybe like Washington D.C. or Boston or like
I wouldn't
New
mind
Vegas?
seeing more of the West Coast.
yeah, I was about to say I
I've seen
wouldn't.
that once.
I was about to say I wouldn't mind seeing
Yeah.
something like L.A. or San Diego. I feel like that would look
Yeah, they-
amazing.
They haven't really touched on a lot of that with except for like the NCR kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
that'd be
me,
cool.
I want to be kind of based for some odd reason, just like Louisiana or somewhere like deep south.
I
I
just
like
want
not
them to
even
go somewhere that's too good because I want them to have the good locations for the games. I mean, like,
True.
I would love to see that more for a game.
I always
Like-
did think that Texas would be a really cool place for.
Well, it's kind of what New Vegas is,
Fallout.
because it's Nevada. I mean, it's pretty close though. The way it's very much more Western styled. I feel like if they were to do a Texas like Fallout, you see a lot of those like Western cliches and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah,
New
I
Vegas is
get
pretty
it.
close to that.
Yes, Red Dead Fallout 5.
Can't wait.
Well, the reason also why I think it's strictly like I think it only really works in America Fallout, especially is because of the whole like I don't know how this would work nowadays, but there's a lot of like outdated stuff in those games that are kind of funny, but like they're really like they're very prejudiced. Like the Red Menace game you can find for your Pip Boy and stuff. Because back was the Red Scare and the Russians. And
well, yeah, that's
I feel
that's like the reason they can't really do it in the other countries. You know, is because it's the entire thing is like, you know, Russia and China. They're all about like that whole espionage kind of thing. So I don't know how that would really work in this.
Also, they're gonna have to set it like within the U.S. because it would be another backlash thing, kind of like when they wanted to do a Metro.
TV yeah, Metro in Washington D.C. sound like the dumbest thing ever. I don't know who came up with that idea, but I definitely think America.
Even though the books and all the games are set in Moscow, Russia,
and the books are originally Russian, but they were translated to English. So
yeah.
For me, my one thing I want from this show, I would love to see this personally, is more history on Vault-Tec and what the Vault's purposes were. I know they were experiments, but I want to see like the overall like what was the reasoning behind it, because there's a lot of fan theories, and one of the theories I have is that everything happens that Vault-Tec's behind it, like with all the nuclear blasts, and that like somehow they're the ones that are responsible for the world the way it is. Because I mean, it's pretty convenient they made these vaults for experiments, and then the world goes to hell, like how long after they built them. So I would love to see more about Vault-Tec, maybe a Vault-Tec engineer. Like maybe it's about a Vault-Tec engineer in a vault during this, like one of the stories that they do multiple stories or something, and like his orders and stuff and what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know, just stuff more like that that's different you wouldn't see in a game, I suppose.
I honestly think that the best way to do this is like what I said, is just these like different mini like kind of stories. I see that being the best way to do it. It just seems like if you do a single person going through the wasteland, it'll eventually get boring, really.
Yeah, and you can make him zany too.
Jumping around,
crazy and stuff, like fun.
Yeah,
like I know for one thing, Trey loves is the dude in the vault, the puppets. Like I forgot his name.
Oh yeah.
And like to do an episode around somebody who's like that, who's crazy and just zany over the top, and then just go to more maybe like a war episode, the Brotherhood of Steel, like war PTSD and stuff in the wasteland and different genres, honestly.
The most reason why I really like the whole entire puppet guy is the idea that like even after he gets out of the vault, I'm pretty sure the comic with him just ends with him just becoming a serial killer right after that. That's how detached from the world he is.
What I'm hearing from this is like, because at least from what Jake wants, it sounds like he wants a Black Mirror episode that is set in the Fallout universe.
That'd be great.
I could see that, because like the coolest part with Fallout is really like, I think what kind of like, and that's similar to kind of almost like Game of Thrones and and Black Mirror as well. It's just like not being able to really get attached to anyone, which is really that kind of Fallout feel where it's like you don't really get to, because you don't know who's expendable or not, really. Like you don't know who is gonna live and who's gonna die, especially in a wasteland. So I think following these different people, you can have certain point of views where the main character of that story dies, and it's like, well, I mean, he did this or whatever, which was the wrong choice, yeah.
And it's not like you necessarily need to bring it all together, because what's bringing it all together is the world they're in right now. So it's not like
you don't have to connect them. Like maybe you can have like little subtle Easter eggs. Like let's say, for example, one set 100 years before another story. Because like Fallout, the universe, people don't know about it. It's so like it's ridiculous. Like different time settings and stuff. Like 4 is way in the future compared to like the other ones and stuff and everything. And it'd be kind of fun, maybe for an example, if one of the characters dies in like an earlier episode, and then you're following a new character further into the future, you find like the skeleton with like maybe like if he's wearing a certain shirt, you can see it in the background somewhere. It's just a little subtle hint to like the previous story, just to like kind of be like, oh hey, it's funny, it's a little neat Easter egg or something like that.
Yeah.
What would be an wait, I just had an idea. What would be an interesting kind of storyline to do? Have kind of follow a story of someone that couldn't get to a vault and he turned into a ghoul, but he's the sane one.
Just one of the regular ghouls. I mean, yeah, you could definitely do that. I would love to see like that with ghouls and as well. I want to like from not so much story anymore, but like actual like visual wise. I can't wait to see like what ghouls are gonna look like and like the super mutants, and I can't especially like the power armor, because they're gonna have power armor. That's like the staple of Fallout. I'm excited to see that.
Say this now. If they mess up on the Death Claw design, I'm not watching it. That
Oh,
is a staple
yeah.
enemy.
Oh, dude, I think what would be really cool too is they could even like go with the whole Black Mirror thing, or just an anthology series in general, what they could do with it. Especially, I think it was the show on Netflix I really want to see called Love, Death, and Robots, where like each episode could be by a different director, and they have a different way of directing the episode, or different art styles, or different styles of like storytelling would be really interesting, you know, to see. Just to keep it, like you have new stories, new characters, but keep it new and fresh. So each episode's like opening a new chapter in a book. Like you don't know what to expect next. It'd be really cool. The
Matt.
one thing, however, I do not want to see, this is my biggest fear, is I think we're starting to come out of this craze, the whole zombie craze and stuff. So I think we're not going to have to worry about it too much. I don't want to see a Walking Dead clone. I'm just like the one thing I get worried about is like this apocalypse show that's gritty and like all about the survivors in it and about like what to do. I don't want to see that. If they do that, I'm going to be so severely disappointed in this show because Fallout's never been about that. Fallout's just about like it's like Last of Us. It's the backdrop. It's not about the apocalypse. It's just the backdrop.
The way I can most describe it, it's not about surviving in Fallout. It's really about living, and I think that's like the best thing about it. It's not like a survivor, like is the hero going to survive? It's really just not just surviving, but living in this world. Like making settlements and meeting people, opening trade, like reviving humanity. It's all about living, not just surviving.
Living in this new harsh world that you're used to.
It's all about adaptability. But what I was gonna say, Matt, was have you ever seen what is it called? Gotham Knight, or I think it's Gotham Knight.
Is that the Is that the animated Batman movie that had like all the different art styles in it with different?
Yeah.
Yeah, did they have the anime one with Deadshot that was like really violent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Gotham Knight. Yeah, it was it was a kind of Batman anime where there were different episodes. Each was directed by different people, and like the artists were all different people, like each episode. But it was a continuing story. So I think if they did something kind of like that as well, would be cool. Just
definitely
different directors still getting that same kind of continuation of that world would be cool.
No, let's be honest though. We're making this sound way cooler than it's probably gonna end up being.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna so much higher than it's gonna be.
No.
Oh yeah.
The actual show be like, you're gonna be following around the Minutemen the whole entire time.
The whole entire show is gonna be about befriending a dog that keeps running away from you.
Yeah. No. What should be like Deadly Premonition, where it's basically just weird on top of weird.
Yeah. No, we're gonna be massively disappointed, and then we're gonna come back to this podcast, and we're gonna be like, wow. And then we're
had so much hope.
And then we're gonna pitch our idea to Amazon, and Amazon's gonna fire Todd Howard and the other dudes, and be like, "Hey, let's get these group of diverse friends."
All I gotta say, man, they better add Adam points to this TV show so I can get some new cosmetics for my great-looking character Fallout 76 that I have not touched in over probably 3 months.
So that's another thing. That's another thing I want to touch on real quick. With this being an Amazon series, obviously. Amazon owns Twitch, I believe. Yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of stuff in either 76 or the new Fallout game. We'll be seeing a lot of Twitch Prime stuff.
We won't be seeing a new Fallout game for a long time, I believe, unless there's another studio working on it. Because Elder Scrolls 6, I don't think has even entered like actual development yet. Supposedly, that won't be coming out until like 2026.
Well, expect those Fallout Shelter Twitch drops. So.
No. You know what's gonna happen, right? It's gonna turn out the show, yes, in the Fallout universe, but it's settled on the Battle Royale mode for 76.
I'll kill
That's
somebody.
The kicker.
You know that meme I've been seeing, guys, with the whole mug that I'll put someone in the truck and help me look for him? Yeah, that's what's gonna happen if it's the Battle Royale.
That's crazy.
It can definitely be awesome. And I have faith. I kind of do have faith in Amazon, to be honest. Like, there's not been really anything I've watched on Amazon original stuff that I've not liked.
Yeah, everything I've enjoyed.
Man in High Castle, Jack Ryan. I mean,
The Boys, bro. I can't wait for season 2. I really want to see season 2.
That's this month, isn't it? Or is it next month?
I think it's next month.
I think is it August or
September.
Yeah, it's September.
I thought it was
August. No, Umbrella Academy is July 31st. That's this month.
I was so excited for season 2 though of The Boys. I just watched there was a sneak peek like I didn't see it come out. It was like a day ago that it came out. I watched it and I was like, oh man, I forgot how good. Like the acting in that show is so good. I love it.
Real quick, we're pushing an hour here, and I kind of just want to start wrapping things up. I wanted to quickly talk about the DCU. Just I don't know, it's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to freeball this, just have a general conversation
You
about
wanna
it.
talk about the Tombstone?
Shut up. There's a lot of stuff happening in the DCU right now, and there's not any specific news that I want to discuss right now, but I feel like the DCU is in a very good position. Granted, they are, a lot of their movies haven't been that amazing or well received, but looking at recent news about like them trying to recast Michael Keaton as Batman and Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill coming back and Man of Steel 2 possibly in the works, I feel like this opens up a can of worms for.
Wait, I got a question real fast.
Go for it.
I thought that Robert Pattinson was part of the DCEU.
No,
That's
not
like-
confirmed.
no.
Not confirmed.
No, but that's
Okay.
heavily rumors he's taking that he's making a new rebooted version. Well, what I've been hearing with Ben Affleck though is that if this is even to take this with a grain of salt, because this is just random stuff I'm hearing, is that apparently if he does come back, it may just be like an HBO Max exclusivity deal with Zack Snyder to do like maybe a Batman trilogy there or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing a lot of stuff because of the whole Snyder cut and how people are excited.
Yeah,
about that, and maybe,
which there's a lot of actors from Justice League coming back just to finish up the Snyder cut.
I mean, I don't know, man. I would love to see the DCU get somewhere, because I feel like there's so much potential there, and it just really sucks that they had like the wrong footing. They just tried rushing me, man, so fast with Suicide Squad. Like that was such an unneeded film at the time, just to like throw that in there. BVS rushed a lot of storylines. And,
Yeah.
it was just.
But I don't know. If I had to take a guess as to what they're doing, obviously it's gonna be Flashpoint. I don't even know when the Flash movie's coming out, but supposedly it's still in the works.
Is Ezra Miller still the Flash? That's
Yeah.
the whole entire.
Yeah, he's unfortunately
that
still the
was pretty
Flash.
big.
Hopefully they teach him how to run in this new movie. But
Oh my God,
the
I
thing
think we're
is-
on that.
the thing is, I can see, and I just got done watching all these animated films with Jake, and I can see them doing Flashpoint and them casting Michael Keaton as Batman will, and I will love this. I will love this if it's kind of like a return to the 80s, the Batman and Batman Returns, those movies, and Michael Keaton is like a little bit older, and obviously Flash goes back in time to, this universe. I would love to see them try to bring back Tim Burton because he was going to do a Batman 3, but we all saw how that turned out.
Joel
And
Schumacher took the reins. R.I.P. Joel Schumacher.
I would love to see a Flashpoint kind of in a way connected, even the old stuff with the new stuff. And I feel like with Michael Keaton returning, either they're going to do what I just said, or they're going to make him, Bruce or Thomas Wayne and do Flashpoint, the traditional way. But I feel like, connecting the DCU to the 89 and I believe it was 91 or 92 Batman movies, that will not only will it be Flashpoint, but it will also be a fresh take on Flashpoint, which I believe that's what DCU needs the most right now. It's just fresh takes and originality. I feel like that's why Joker works so well. It was original. It wasn't connected to anything. It was a fresh take. I feel like that's why the Batman's gonna be really good. I believe it's gonna be the best Batman movie we've ever gotten, and
Matt Reeves definitely. He's a huge fan of the character.
yeah, and I mean his movies. He's also directed, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I believe he did Rise of the Planet of the Apes as well. He has a pretty good catalog there. So I don't know. I'm really excited for the future of the DCU. Personally, I just hope they don't mess it up.
I mean, we already know like it's all canned together because of the CW crossover. I saw clips on YouTube of this. I don't watch the CW shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think Jake knows more than me, but there was like a Jake wasn't. Didn't they show like a bunch of different universes, like that orange wave, like going over? So like wasn't it, like the Titans and
Yeah,
stuff?
so there was like a Elseworlds thing,
Mhm.
and they go through the different universes trying to show that like they're all part of the same multiverse. So they go to like to Smallville and all the different ones.
Wait, Smallville is in the Arrowverse?
Mm-hmm.
What? Well, if that's the case, then that means that it's also in the DCU because Ezra Miller went there, or he went to the Flash.
Yeah, Ezra Miller was. Yeah, he was That was their thing. They try to connect all the DC stuff. So like
Well,
the Justice League is in the Arrowverse. Like basically all live action stuff is in the Arrowverse.
okay, that's awesome.
Whoa, that was weird. For some reason voices were coming through to me, so I had to leave and rejoin. What'd Jake say?
Oh, that happens to me. That happens to me too. Basically like all the live actions DC stuff is basically in the Arrowverse. Like Justice League, Titans, Smallville, that new Stargirl.
Batman didn't have like Robin from the Adam West Batman like walking his dog or something as like a
I believe so. Yeah.
Burt Ward or whatever. I think.
Yeah, Burt Ward.
Rip.
I don't think he's dead.
No, but
he was racist.
yeah, that's why I said that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really do feel like so. I mean, even with me saying that, and I didn't even know that all of these live action shows were even connected like this. Even with me saying that, I guess that kind of solidifies my theory, I guess you could say, in the sense that Flashpoint could be a return to what the DC universe was, and I feel like that'd be awesome. And another thing is, I wouldn't even mind, bringing back not only Michael Keaton, but let's bring back Billy D. Williams. He's already in shape. Let's bring him back as Two-Face. He'd be an older guy.
Get him again.
Jim Carrey back as the Riddler.
I genuinely shut up, Trey.
Arnold back as Mr. Freeze.
Shut up, Matt. I genuinely feel like that would be awesome for Flashpoint to do something like that. And then Michael Keaton being Thomas Wayne. Well, never mind, that wouldn't work.
No. I mean, I would like to see him be Bruce Wayne and have Terry McGinnis step into the picture as
okay.
Batman Beyond.
Okay, so
awesome.
yeah, that would be even better if Flashpoint went to the Batman Beyond universe and then Michael Keaton, retired and gave the mantle to Terry McGinnis. That would be amazing.
Who would you want to play Terry McGinnis as a young guy, as an actor?
Ezra Miller.
Shut up.
I thought so.
But you know who I can see, but I'm afraid he's getting a little bit too old for this.
Who?
The guy that was supposed to be Robin in them.
What about
what's it called?
Who was the guy in Kick-Ass?
What's his name?
Oh, Aaron Taylor
Michael
Johnson.
Cera.
Oh yeah, that was him. He played Quicksilver.
Yeah, he played Quicksilver. Yeah, he's dead. Well, Quicksilver's not dead. Not Aaron Johnson. I thought maybe Ty Sheridan. He played Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse. He would be a bad pick. Or like he's also in Ready Player One.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe what about Dylan O'Brien from Maze Runner? He played the main character in Maze Runner.
Okay.
Shia LaBeouf.
I was thinking the same exact thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Shia LaBeouf.
In my head,
Okay, at that point,
I was
thinking
thinking.
Elijah Wood.
I was thinking the same exact thing. I don't even know why. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
It would definitely be a role he would have played in like the early 2000s. It definitely would have been.
Okay.
That's
If you
mojo
guys are gonna
here.
say
It's
him,
mojo.
I'm gonna say Nicolas Cage for Terry McGinnis.
I feel like okay. So here's another thing. I feel like if Flashpoint happens, I feel like all these early rumors of Nicolas Cage playing Superman would totally like solidify him playing Superman now, and he could wear the mullet and everything, just like all of like the fan art showed.
Oh God, get Don is Con Air hair again.
No, dude. If it bring his acting back from like Face Off.
Oh my lord, dude! What about
Wicker Man?
picture this? Picture this: Nicolas Cage's Joker. Couldn't have better cast himself. Oh my!
I would,
God.
dude. I'm telling you, I would love to see if Flashpoint went back to the '89 movie, like in that universe, not necessarily the movie, but in that universe. Michael Keaton's he's Bruce Wayne at this point. We have a Terry McGinnis, Nicolas Cage's mullet Superman. I would love this.
His own character.
Listen. I know I am mean right now, but I would love this.
Well, you see, I'm all for that except for mullets. I'm sorry, dude. I just do not see Nicolas Cage as Superman at all. I mean, it'd be kind of funny for me to do like a cameo, but like.
I agree with all of that, but besides the mullet.
And then rumor is they're also going to bring back
West was that mullet.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I'm saying besides the mullet, like it's his own character.
Rumor is they're also going to bring back Ryan Reynolds to play Green Lantern.
Okay, now that's the point.
Okay,
Like,
now that's
Nothing
getting
against
up
Ryan
for
Reynolds,
defeat.
but like that movie just left a sour taste in everybody's mouths. I think
There's
it's
a
best just to
reason why
reboot
he
that
made a
franchise
joke about it in
entirely.
Deadpool 2. There's a reason.
That was just that was a miss and a half for the end of that movie.
I'm gonna be honest. Unpopular opinion. I didn't have a problem with that movie.
I did. Okay,
I
so,
really
so
didn't.
okay, so that was my thing. I didn't have a problem with it, and then I was like, less than a year ago, I was like, I'm gonna rewatch this movie because I remember loving this movie growing up, and
I was 11 when that movie came out.
and so I rewatched it, and I couldn't finish it. I was like, my god, it's not
I mean,
good.
I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it really. I guess.
I think
Yeah.
if they were to reboot Green Lantern with Hal Jordan, I think Armie Hammer would do a great job as Hal Jordan.
Man, we need another Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie before we get him to do anything else. But that's the topic in this for another video.
No! You know who should play Terry McGinnis? Keanu Reeves.
No, shut up.
Without a beard. Just
A 60
60
year-old
God, no.
Terry McGinnis. He's older. He's about the same age as
Rock on, dude.
Batman.
No, but the thing with Green Lantern, though, I think we're already getting a rebooted version of the Snyder Cut. Isn't Green Lantern in that? Isn't that the whole? Because
Well, I mean,
he
it's,
was originally going to be in the movie.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, or no, yeah. But no, was it Justice League or that? No,
Yeah,
what was that?
it was
like
Justice
BVS,
League.
right?
Was it BVS? Oh, he
Yeah,
was supposed to be in
BVS.
BVS. Yes, he was.
BVS,
Yes, he was supposed to be in
Because there was that whole
BVS. Him
season
and
that
him
Alfred is
and
like,
Martian
that's
Manhunter. Him and
Yeah,
Martian
absolutely.
Manhunter was both supposed to be in BVS.
Well, yeah, because Martian Manhunter's a Man of Steel. At the
Yeah.
end, he's one of the soldiers.
Well, he's throughout the movie. He's not just at the end.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's
Wait, he's
like
throughout the
that's
movie? I've never noticed that.
Yeah, it's
Well, he's a
it's the
soldier.
general. It's the general.
Oh.
Yeah.
John Johns or whatever.
Yeah, he's Martian Manhunter.
Huh.
But yeah, dude, all DC has to do is listen to fans, man. Stop trying to copycat Marvel. Stop trying to play catch up. All they have to do is listen to fans, and they'll be in a great
I don't
spot.
even want like a massive like Infinity War moment. Yeah, they could just do like with the anime movies, just do like spin-offs and do a live action Killing Joke, do a live action
Under the Red Hood.
Sun,
Under the Red Hood.
or Under Red Hood.
Yes,
Exactly. I mean,
sir.
you can still reuse actors, but like you don't need to
Yeah,
directly
and also
connect
have a
everything.
Joker that has dreadlocks.
That's why Joker works so well, because it's not trying to be anything big. It's all it's trying to do as of right now. All it's trying to do is be Joker, and that's it. And I think that's why that movie works so well. But yeah,
Everybody wants him to be in the DCEU. I'm like, no, like I don't want his Joker in the DCEU. I want his to be a simple, like it's just his own movie. I love Joaquin as Joker, but like if they're gonna do a cinematic universe, let's like a younger person take it up first of all, because that way so they won't age with the series. Because Joaquin's decently old. But...
I doubt it will be in the DCU. The only the only possibility I see happening is the rumor that, or the theory, I guess, that he's going to be in the Batman movie, and this is going to take place in the Joker universe. That's the only possible outcome I could possibly see happening with Joker. And then
we do know Joker is in Batman, don't we? Is that confirmed at this point? Joker's in there with Penguin. Like I don't think he has a major role, but I do think that Batman. I think if it's based off Long Halloween, which is what it supposedly has been rumored, I think Batman goes to talk to Joker about something. I don't know, like at Arkham. I don't know. They're somehow gonna have a bunch of villains in that movie. That's all I know. I don't know to what extent.
Yeah, well, a lot of them aren't even going to play that huge of a role. Like they've already said, Penguin and oh man, there was another one. Riddler.
Because Riddler's the main bad guy. Riddler's the main one. He's the main villain, supposedly.
Well, who? Man, I don't know. There's too many people in this movie.
You know what I would like to see?
Long Halloween has a lot of bad
If
guys.
that does happen with the whole entire, he goes to like Arkham Asylum to talk to Joker. Is that what someone said?
I mean, I don't know. I think I saw it somewhere. Don't hold me against that. I'm not big into the
well,
comics.
but
side of
like,
DC,
if they do that idea, I would like for them to like retcon Sons of the Lambs.
Why?
Huh?
I don't know. I just felt that'd be a kind of a cool moment.
Shut up, Trey.
Sorry, I try to put
Why?
ideas.
Why would we retcon Silence of the Lambs because the DCU is making a movie?
No, I wouldn't say retcon. I mean like as like a what's it called?
Retcon's getting rid of and like just not even.
I think he means
no,
call
that's
out
not
like
what-
a homage to
An homage.
Oh,
Silence
okay.
of the Lambs.
Okay.
I was confused too. I was guessing that's what
Yeah,
he meant
why?
was
Well, retcon?
That,
That's what
but
I-
he was
that's what I
like,
meant.
when he
Sorry,
said
I am so
retcon,
tired
I
at the
was,
moment. That's what I
I
meant.
was like, why would we get rid of an entire movie just for one scene?
Well, also, it's not even part of the DC universe. I was so lost for a second. I'm like, what? Like,
Sorry, I am so tired at the moment
Yeah.
because of insomnia. Yeah, it's
I get that. So let's start
Game.
wrapping this up. Real quick, I just want to say we have a poll going on Twitter for what my next video essay should be. So if you haven't already and you're watching this podcast, be sure to vote. The link to the tweet is in the description below. You have 3 options there, so be sure to vote. You have 2 hours left to vote. And then expect some cool videos from us next week. Hopefully, maybe some trailers if some stuff drops.
that'd be nice. I want to get some new news here on some stuff, man. We've been,
Kind of
we were a
dry.
little bit spoiled earlier on this like last month with like the PS5 and stuff. But like, yeah, we need some new, at least some modern day gaming. Like I want to see the new Call of Duty. I want to see more Assassin's Creed gameplay. I want to see more from the games coming out this year. You know,
I'm
we can worry
just-
about the
Wait,
PS5 stuff next year.
I'm just now
we have
realizing
another thing to talk-
what.
coming up on the 12th. We have something else to talk about, which is the Ubisoft conference.
Oh, I'm
Oh, there-
excited for that.
oh, there's an-
Ubisoft.
I didn't even know that.
Ubisoft, if I was to pay for a subscription service personally, Ubisoft would be that one because there's a lot of their games I like. You know, the Tom Clancy series.
Oh, yeah,
Assassin's Creed, and Watch
I'm
Dogs.
paying for that Mojang subscription service, boys.
Minecraft too.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. With spheres.
With ovals.
But yeah. So yeah, hopefully we see you. I know that sounds morbid. We will see you guys next week.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, the way things are going, hopefully none of you guys are at rallies right now or anything, but you know.
We'll see you or we won't next time.
We'll find out.
You know,
No,
maybe not all of us will be here next time, but.
no,
I'm
but
just kidding.
just be sure to
But-
stay safe, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your long weekend, and
Or don't.
or don't, or just chill, man. Watch a movie. There's Sucker Punches now on Netflix.
Play some Lego games, you know, game to the.
Watch Roderick Rules. It's on Disney Plus.
Watch Hamilton.
Watch,
It's
just
also on
watch
Disney
the
Plus.
entire Diary of a Kid series. You won't regret it.
Watch
Trey hates it.
Silent
but
Hill
it's okay.
Revelations.
Don't watch
Never
that.
do
Trust
that.
me. Never do that. No. No.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, Trey, you
That
can't
is-
talk anymore. We're silencing you.
joking.
We're silencing
Calm
you.
down.
We're silencing
He's
you.
not joking.
It's
He
not like I'm
loves
telling you.
You lost
it's not like
movie
I'm telling everyone
privileges,
to go
Trey.
watch
It's
Thanksgiving.
done. Hey. It's
Okay.
garbage day.
Goodbye.
That was a good way to end.